Take on me, take on me, take me on, take on me. I'll be bugging out, man. I'm on my 80s joint. Don't kid yourself. I'm only wearing this jacket because I'm not wearing pants under this. Real rap, man. So I caught the UFC card yesterday. I don't think I'm ever gonna be an MMA fan, but I do like Amanda Nunes. I respect the hell out of her. She's really entertaining to watch. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Second. In the way, what you saying? Don't away. Today's the day that's on you. Flying away, and I'll be coming for your love anyway. Take on me, take on me, take me on. That song is dope, man. They made a is it Kegel? It's not Kegels. Those are pelvic exercises. They made a version of it that sounds like a marimba version, and that joint is just dope, though. That joint is wild, man. Rob, what's good? Take on me, take on me, take me on. Boxing and MMA talks. I'm just posting this to Twitter. Don't mind me. Let the list populate. Let it populate. Populate, populate, populate. Young Jeezy fans will know where that's from. So take on me, take on me. But yeah, man, I caught the card. It was a fun card. That Jan guy, you know, he was out of line, man. But I just don't think that a title should change hands or a title should be awarded in that fashion. I think that there should be a contingency rule that in a situation like that, I mean, you shouldn't crown a champion like that because essentially you become a champion ideally for being the better fighter. And I don't think that Sterling at any point in that fight was the better fighter than Jan, my countryman Jan from Russia. Spasiba, привет. He's not a better fighter than my countryman Jan, you know. But it is what it is, man. Some things fall through the cracks. Ow! Nuñez, she beat the hell out of Megan Anderson. It was very hard to watch. I'm a big fan of Adrian's legs. I mean, Megan's legs. I'm a big fan of Megan's legs, but you know, that's life. That happens. It has to happen. In order to make an omelet, you got to break a couple of eggs. You got to break a couple of arms, couple of legs. It is what it is. JD, yeah, just a little. Just because I caught the card, JD. Like I told I think it was on Twitter yesterday. I think I said Raging Babe to Raging Babe. I could never be an MMA fan. I mean, I could never cross over. Like, I can't. No boxing, no life, like my man Canelo says. All right, everybody sing along. Take on me, take on me, take me on. No, I appreciate that, Ian. JD was good. Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about what little bit I saw. I have no intention of covering mixed martial arts. I'm really not a fan. I think that I give it a chance when there's strikers. If there are strikers, which is why I like kickboxing more than I like MMA, as a spectator sport. I mean, I'd rather watch a kickboxing match than a UFC fight. It's too much holding, bro. On my block, if you do all that shit on the ground, what the whole crowd is going to do is they're going to pick your ass up until you get the fuck up and fight. That's what they're going to tell you to do. So, I mean, Joe Lazizi was good. Yo, I sing way better than Fanon. I don't know what y'all talking about. My voice is gorgeous. Take on me. Take on me. Take. You hear that shit? You hear the music? You hear the power? Nathan Kerr was good. Cat was good. What sing that way? Days that had to find you. Mark and Cat going in on my jacket. It behooves y'all to know I'm not wearing pants under here. No, I'm just playing. I am. I'm wearing pajama pants, but I gotta try to look presentable. I can't just come on live and be wearing any old shit. Like, come on now. Shying away, but I'll be told by your love anyway. Take on me. Take on me. That shit, yo, that song is so fucking dope, dog. That song is a classic, man. What's that on anyway? But yeah, you know, in watching yesterday's fight, which is a big part of the reason I decided to go live to talk about this, because I don't cover mixed martial arts. I'm not going to. That is not going to happen. I don't want Clarissa Shields to fight Amanda Nuñez. A lot of people think I hate Clarissa, right? A lot of people think I don't like her. No, I do like her. I don't like a lot of stuff that she says. I think it's kind of tactless at times. But I like her, and I don't want nothing bad to happen to her. That being said, the amount of preparation it would take to prepare her for Amanda Leola Nuñez, bro, it's not there. And I don't want to see a fighter out of place because it broke my heart when Heather Hardy lost in a cage. I know that she went over there because of the bread and the opportunity, because she's right. They don't give the girls over here a lot of opportunities. I think that there are many individuals like myself who would like to see that change. I want to see the girls get paid right, and I know that there's a way to go about it, but I'm just a spectator in a spectator sport. I'm not a network executive. I'm not a promoter. I'm not a manager. But I can tell you how to do it the way you start making money. I can tell you that, because if I don't know nothing, I know how to make money. I'm a Capricorn. That's what we do. Everybody, musical interlude. Take on me. Take on me, take me on. No, I gotta stop doing that. But I don't want Clarissa to fight Amanda Nuñez. You can say what you want. I don't want her to fight her. Just like I never wanted Heather Hardy to go in the cage. I didn't want to see Amanda Serrano do it. I didn't want to see Ava Knight do it. Because their heart, it looks to me, and I could be wrong, but their heart is boxing. They are pugilists, all right? They knuckle up. That's when they want to fight. That's like they go to. I'm gonna knuckle up because that's how I fight. That's the rhythm that God gave me in my body to knuckle up, not to be rolling around on the floor and trying to do the Diamond Dallas Page or the 4-figure leg lock or the Boston Crab or the crab legs or whatever. That's what they got in their heart. That's their rhythm, their internal rhythm. So when I think about that, I'm like, dog, I don't want her to go in there to fight somebody like Amanda Nuñez and then get hurt. And people going to say, oh, it's because she can't fight. Oh, it's because she was never any good. No, it's because that's not her forte. That's not what she do. You're not going to catch up to Amanda Nuñez in a couple of fights. So let's be real. You're not going to catch up to her in a couple of fights. I don't want to see her get hurt. I don't want to see that. I don't want to wake up one Sunday morning and everybody on Twitter talking smack. Oh, Clarissa got her ass beat. Well, that's not what she does, bro. And you cannot expect her to have the level of expertise that Amanda has in this situation. You can't do it. A lot of people want her to have the fight because they want to see her get hurt. I don't want to see her get hurt. I want her to have an even amount of time, a fair amount of time, to see if she can become an elite level mixed martial artist. That's what I want for her. I don't want to see her get hurt. So take on. I'm talking to the ghost of Customato, my Capricorn brother. In case y'all not aware, Customato was also a Capricorn. His ghost visits me during these lives. He stands right there, and I'll be talking to him. That's right. Take on me. Take on me. Take me on. I couldn't believe WBN. Yeah, and I did a video on that. So, I mean, I don't know many people that would debate this subject with me because I don't think as many people pay as much attention to this as I do. So I'm not looking for a debate. I'm telling you, this is my list. This is why it's the way that it is. This is my reasoning. This is my rationale. And that's it. You could agree with it, you could disagree with it. But what I'm presenting to you are facts, not opinions, not anecdotes. Those are just simple facts. All right? I don't want her to fight Amanda Nuñez. I don't think she'll be ready for that fight for at least 2 years. And I don't want her to cash out on herself. I don't want her to do that neither. I don't want her to just, because they offer me $500,000 or because they offer me $1 million, I'm gonna just go in here and it's not even, bro. It's not even. Amanda, she could strike, which allows Clarissa to have some kind of competitiveness, perhaps. But Amanda could fight on the ground too. She do the grappling and all of that. So it's like, come on now, like don't be sending people in there to get hurt. And don't confuse this. I feel the same way about mixed martial artists crossing over into boxing. I'm not with the circus shit. Like, nah, come on, don't bring them over here and then they gonna get their ass beat and then people gonna act like they can't fight. No, they can fight. They can fight. It's just that's not what they do. That's not their thing. Iceman was good. That's Iceman. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. That she'll take her out and then everything that she has done in boxing will thereby be marginalized because she walked into a situation that I don't think she's ready for. All right? I don't think she's ready for that. Look, you could get a middleweight or a super middleweight from mixed martial arts. Throw David Benavidez in there. David probably get his ass beat in the cage. But the same is true in reverse. The mixed martial artist to get his ass beat in the boxing ring. So what's that tell you? It's not that one is better than the other. They're different sports. They're very different. They work in very different ways. And I don't want to hear that childish shit about, MMA is more like a street fight. Let me tell you something about a street fight. Ain't no motherfucking rules in a street fight. If I want to pick up a brick and hit you with it, that's a street fight. All right? If I want to get a crowbar out the trunk of my car and beat you with it, that's a street fight. So don't talk to me about the child. It's closer to a street fight or it's closer to a real fight. Listen, man, if you have been in a real fight, you know you can end a real fight with a punch just as quickly as you could end it with a kick. So save me the comic book shit, because that's your comic book motherfuckers. Shut the fuck up, all right? What you say? Ivan Georgiev, what's good? My man all the way from Bulgaria. Shields can beat 98% of men. Nuñez, come on, Rob. You better than that. You better than that. Come on. I don't want to see her get hurt. I want her to make money. I want her to be okay. I want, like, she's not my favorite, all right? And I don't play national. I don't do the, because she's American and I'm American, then I got to say shit that ain't true. No, I'm not going to do that, bro. I'm a Capricorn. I'm true through and through. I'm altruist, whatever. I'm an idealist, whatever the fuck you want to call it. All right. She's not my favorite. And I'm not partial. All right. My favorite female fighter is Katie Taylor, but it's because of what's on her record. That's why. It's because of the facts. All right. But at the end of the day, I don't want to see nobody get hurt. And I don't want to see her get hurt walking into a situation that I don't think she's ready for. I don't want to see that. I think he means boxing alone. Nah, man. I don't want to see her get hurt, man. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want her to have the opportunity to develop. If that's what you want to do, and that's what she wants to be, I want her to have the opportunity to develop those skills. Not, they offered me $500,000 or whatever, and I'm going to just go in there and get my ass beat for this check, because that's what that would be. That is what that would be. Amanda Nuñez only got hit twice, but exactly, Danilo, exactly. Less Nuñez boxer then. Shields ain't gonna get. I mean, look. Ultimately, I don't want to see Amanda cross over into boxing unless she has legitimate chance to develop. I do not want to see nobody get taken out of their element and then marginalized after that. I don't want to see that. That's why I'm not for them crossovers. I'm not for that. If you a wrestler, then be a wrestler. If you a kicker and you like kicking people and all of that, be a kicker. You like using your hands and throwing your joints, throw your joints. But what I don't want to see is athletes marginalized because they went into a field that they not even really developed in. If you are not developed as a mixed martial artist, then you should not be in the ring or the octagon with Amanda Nuñez, all right? I know, Iceman, but you got to be bigger than that. Like, I choose to be bigger than that. I could say, well, she always running her goddamn mouth. Let her go in there and get her ass beat. I could do that, but I'm a father. I know what it's like to have children, and you want good things for your children. And when you become a father, at least when I did, you look at people as, yo, that's somebody kid, yo. That's somebody daughter. That's somebody dumbass son. I dig it, but that's how I look at everything. And I don't want to see nobody in a situation that they don't belong in just for some bread. I don't want to see that. You got to remember, though, Tyson Fury was successful in professional, keyword professional wrestling, which is the closest thing to a street. Nuñez is 145 pounds. Shields 165. They would have to kill themselves to fight each other. What they would do is probably have it at 154. I don't want Clarissa draining herself for no goddamn check. Like, all right? I was good, Zen Warrior. Martial Pro style beat Shields, and I'm convinced more than ever. Oh, it's getting spicy in here. It's getting spicy in here. So it's getting spicy in here. So check it on your own. Ain't getting so hot. I want to interview Savannah. I got to interview Savannah, man. Big fan. Been a big fan for a long time. But yeah, man, I don't want to see that. All right? I know a lot of y'all don't like her. I don't like a lot of shit she say neither. I like shit. She blocked me on Twitter because I was just telling the truth. Showtime ain't want to put the bread up. That's why you not over there no more. I was just telling the truth. She got mad. She blocked me. Like, that's all right. You get mad, but facts ain't going to change. I'm just calling a spade a spade. They rather spend money on Adrian Broner, who nobody wants to see. I always look at it as like, yo, Showtime dropped the ball. How did they drop the ball? You cannot just invest in one fighter. You got to invest in her opponents, the people that are going to be her opponents. You got to develop their careers as well, so that when you put them together, you get a milkshake, you get a full super fight. If you don't do that and you just putting it all on her, well, that's not going to work. When ESPN went into a deal with Top Rank, did they just sign Vasyl Lomachenko for Vasyl Lomachenko fights? No. Just Terrence Crawford fights? No. Just Teofimo Lopez fights? No. They showing you a whole array of different fighters that's in different divisions, and all of their careers are developing before your eyes. All of their careers. Whereas with Clarissa, all right, well, you invested in Clarissa. Cool. What about Raquel? What about Jadeja Green? What about Danielle Perkins? What about Franchon Cruz? Even though Franchon got a promoter, shout out to Franchon. Franchon got a promoter, but better still, I'm talking about in the beginning when you signing this fighter and you trying to develop a plan so that this fighter can change the market here. What did you actually do? It's not like it. Like, yo, the strange thing is, there's girls there that 2-3 years ago, if they had put the money in them, by now they would have been developed, and Clarissa would have had at least 3-4 money fights that she could have had. Because you ain't got to tell me how to sell that Raquel Miller fight. I could sell that shit blindfolded. I could sell it blindfolded. But networks are run by dinosaurs that have old ideas that are outdated, and they cannot appeal to a postmodern demographic. They're relying on markets that are already there, that they don't want to be innovative and come up with new stuff and all of that. If it is not Julius, probably go. If it's not you, Julius, I probably will know 3 or 4. I appreciate that, Ivan. I appreciate that. That means I'm doing my job. That means I'm completing my goals, because that was my mini goal. To show people, showcase these fighters in the light that I see them in, so that you can see them too. You know what I'm saying? Just take on me. Take on me, take me on. Shit. I got that other song stuck in my head. Depeche Mode, The Sound of Silence. I can't play it because, you know, obviously I'm going to get hit with a copyright issue. Somebody remind me, what's the hook for that song? I'm getting old, man. How does that song go? And I'm going to post the link. I'm going to post the link and let people come on here and curse me out. Tell me how beautiful my singing voice is. Not going to be live very long. I already got an episode of the relay done. I just wanted to go live and talk about this because I didn't want to prepare an actual video for it because I don't cover mixed martial arts. Overkill, men at work. Met a strange lady. She made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. She said, "Do you come from a land down under? For the women paw and men plunder. Can't you hear that thunder? Better run!" Mark was rocking. Jimbo.
Better take cover. Sorry.
Oh shit. But from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4" named Tyson Fury.
That's a small Tyson Fury.
That's Mini Fury. That's Tommy Fury. Tommy. I want to see Tommy fight with the American Jake Paul because I think Tommy can beat his ass. Yeah, Tommy will mess him up, man. He'll mess him up.
Tommy's got some very thick eyebrows.
Listen, man, Tommy's eyebrows are thicker than mine.
And mine.
Jeez, that kid, man. He'll mess Jake Paul up, man. He'll mess him up. I want Tommy. I want Tommy to get that fight. If that was a pay-per-view, I'd buy it.
You know, do you remember when I gave out about like Shane McGuigan and Barry McGuigan not being somebody's child? Tommy Fury and John Fury definitely look like they're not related.
They don't. But have you seen Tyson's older brother? He looks like he's related to Tyson's older brother, and he still has his hair.
Yeah, they all look a little bit weird. They change from brother to brother. It's kind of weird. Maybe it looks more like the mother. From what I know, they have different mothers.
I think, you want me to be honest, look, right? I got 2 kids, right? My daughter takes after me. My son takes after his mother. More often than not, that's the situation. Sons take after their mothers more often than not than they do their fathers. What I see with Tyson is that he really takes after John. The other 2, they must take after their mother because they don't even look like John. But Tyson, he looked just like John. They don't even look English, man.
They don't even look English.
Bro, them dudes look like they my brothers. Like I could be their cousin.
No.
No,
bro.
yeah.
No. They don't even look Latin, bro. They look Iranian, bro.
No, I could be Julius Fury, Big John. I'm Big John's. I'm Peter's son. I'm Peter's son, bro. He came to America. He shagged a couple of broads. Here I am.
You got so aggressive about that, bro. You should have seen your face.
I've been trying to meet Peter for a long time, man. You
I've never seen someone so passionate about being Peter Fury's son. I've never seen
Fury. I look like Boy Fury.
I've never seen someone so passionately defend the idea that they're Peter Fury's son when they're not.
Oh shit! Nah, but I mean, if I'm keeping it real, I ain't saying I look like them, but I look more like them than Tyson does. Tyson and Tommy, they don't even look like they from the same country.
Look, if anyone looks like a Fury, it's me.
I look way more like Tyson Fury than you. You crazy? I look just like John because of the crime. John, remember, John is a criminal. So am I. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm not. Oh shit. But I don't know, man. I don't want to see Clarissa Shields fight Amanda Nuñez. What do you think?
I don't want to see it. The girl will get killed in an MMA ring. In MMA, she gets killed.
Yeah, she gets killed, man.
It might. I'm not trying to be funny, and that you may disagree with me. I think it could be competitive in boxing itself because Nunes is strong, very strong, and I think it's very. I think women's boxing can be more comparable to. Like, I think it's easier for male boxers to beat male MMA fighters in a boxing match than it would be for not a large punched female to be able to beat another female because she's in there. She can be in there for rounds, and that woman is. I think she's more powerful than Clarissa.
I mean, I don't think it. I know it. Like, she has genuine concussive power. Like, did you hear when she was hitting Megan? It sounded like somebody was like it sounded like thunder when she was hitting Megan. I'm like,
the second she hit Megan, Megan was like, "Oh shit," and she was going backwards. She was done. She wasn't coming forward anymore. It was over then.
The only way
she hit her.
The only way that Nuñez versus Shields, and bear in mind, I don't want this to happen. The only way that Nuñez versus Shields makes sense is in a boxing ring because Nuñez is a striker, so her striking will translate. There's a better chance that you could get Nuñez to develop as a boxer in a timely fashion before you could get Clarissa to develop as a mixed martial artist in a timely fashion. It's going to take years, bro. Years.
I'll be honest. I think whatever you do, you're either putting too much on Clarissa or taking too much away from Amanda. That's the honest truth. Like, if you put her in boxing, you're taking away all of her other abilities. She's a phenomenal wrestler. She's a brilliant ground and pound game. She's brilliant at like cutting people off, taking them down, all that shit. She's actually just all around phenomenal.
She's a phenomenal. Look, and I have a vetted interest in Amanda. Because I remember the Ronda Rousey era. I remember the Chris Cyborg era. I remember that all these people that jumped on her bandwagon now, they were saying she ain't shit. That was the consensus at that time, and that wasn't that long ago. Amanda ain't gonna be shit. I remember all of that. So when I see how far she's come, I'm really happy for her. They're like, yo,
look at the resume, bro.
Yeah, like, bro, it's gonzo, all right? It's gonzo. That being said, I don't want her to end up in a situation that she don't need to be in just for circus fight for some circus money. Like, nah, because she's sensational at what she does, and I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see that. John, what's good? How's my singing?
Yeah, how are you?
And when am I going to get a record deal?
I don't know when you're getting a record deal, Julius. More importantly, when are you going to work for Eddie Hearn and sort out women's boxing for it? That's what
he don't want to call me back. No, I'm just playing. I haven't reached out to him, but I intend to. What I wanted to ask was, don't I, right? Wait. Let me get in the frame. Don't I look more like I'm related to Tommy Fury than Tyson does?
You see, I think Tommy's got that Peter hairline. Yeah, and Tommy's a result of. Tommy is a result of what happens when you have a more disciplined diet. I think it's that simple. It's like it's only the other day we saw Tyson was after McDonald's.
I'm saying Tyson's features, right? The Furies. If you've seen Tyson's older brother, have y'all seen Tyson's older brother? For those of y'all that have seen,
I've seen. Is it Shane or Sean? Whichever one it is. Yeah,
it's Shane. It's Shane. The one that was
he's like a very rotund gentleman with curly hair.
No, but features wise, right? Phenotype.
You're talking of Sean, Julius, not Shane. Shane's the
Sean, the one that was sitting on the couch with him right before the second Wilder fight. That you know, they was playing around and all that. That's Tyson Fury's brother, in case y'all don't know. That's his older brother.
Yeah, it's the chubby one with curly hair.
I could be his cousin, bro. I can't be a Fury. Why I can't be a Fury? Is it because I'm American? I could be a Fury. Why I can't be furious? Why I can't be?
If you really want it, Julius, you know you can do it, but you want to make sure that you take after the Peter hairline.
No, wait a minute. Peter still has hair, bro.
That's what he's saying.
You want to be inheriting Peter's hairline, not John's.
Yeah. I'm never gonna be John. Like I know what my forefathers look like.
Because Tyson takes after that, doesn't he? Really?
Yeah, like Tyson is one of those, and this is true in most instances of fathers and their sons. Believe it or not, and most people, I don't know if most people notice this, but sons don't often take after their fathers. Look at Chavez Jr.
I take after my mum's side.
Yeah, because normally that's the way it goes. Look at Chavez Jr. Look at Marcus Frazier.
Hey, the one thing he has got is the chin.
Yeah.
If you look at Chris Eubank Jr. and Chavez Jr., they've both inherited their father's chin.
Julius.
Eubank Chris don't look like Chris.
I don't know.
His mom.
He's like a halfway house. Like, he's not as big as his dad, But like, there is a similarity there.
There is similarities. I do see.
There's a similarity.
Wait. Wait a minute. I see Chris in Chris. It's not that I don't see him. It's that you don't take after him. Now, Connor, he takes after Nigel. He do.
But he's like a dwarf. He's like a dwarf version of Nigel.
Exactly, and that's why I think that Connor, because he's more like his father, he's gonna have. And call me crazy, I don't give a shit. I think Connor's gonna have a very good career because I think he takes after his father. It's there, the anger, I'm gonna fuck you up.
He showed me something a bit more in his last fight, Connor, because I've really not been very convinced at all.
But I think he looked at minimum. We could say
last fight. I'm going to give you credit.
Miller. He looked good against Fort Miller.
I'll give him the same credit I gave Lawrence Okoli. Like, there's some serious improvement going on. And if you've got the work ethic and you know the willingness to look at your weak points, you can do that.
Yeah. But that being said, what really made me want to go live, because I reiterate, I don't cover MMA, and I'm not going to start. That's just never going to happen. I'm old. I'm set in my ways, and I'm not going to change. The only reason I decided to go live is because I don't want to prepare a video about a sport that I don't cover. That being said, I'd rather just freestyle it. I don't want Clarissa to fight Amanda. I don't know if y'all do. But I do.
I want Clarissa to sign to Eddie Hearn on a free match deal to build the Savannah Marshall fight. That's what I want.
That's what I want. Because if Eddie Hearn signs her, then Raquel, he can make Raquel Miller the kind of offer that Raquel is looking for. Because Raquel, I think that's a great fight. Raquel comes from the same, not exactly the same, obviously, but because Raquel didn't medal. To my knowledge, she didn't medal in the Olympics. But she comes from the same team. She was on Team USA. So I think she could put up a good fight. I think that's a good in-between interlude fight between the Marshall fight and right now. It's other girls that I brought up. It's one girl in Australia. I think she's unbeaten or some shit like that. It's other girls out there that you could fill the time with while you build the fight.
And the heel factor that Clarissa brings will sell the shit out of that fight.
Yeah.
Like, Clarissa, she's owning that heel factor. Own it and use it to make money.
It sells fights, though.
That's what I'm saying. Own it and sell the fight. There's nothing wrong with being the heel. Boxing needs heels.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it at all.
I would much rather see a concentrated effort, because a part of me is like, there's a father and does not care about nobody, right? The regular part of me is like, see, you talk a lot of fucking shit, and that's why certain shit be happening. The fatherly part of me is like, nah, she deserves better than that. If she's there, it's because this punk ass country don't know how to, they don't know how to sell nothing over here. Like, I feel like American ingenue and innovation has largely dissipated the last, I don't know, 10, 20 years.
I think there is another issue. There is the elephant in the room for this.
Which is?
There's no highlight reel.
You're right.
There is no highlight reel.
You're right.
Like, she's so focused on speed and not developing power. And power can be developed enough to develop a highlight reel.
I personally feel, and a lot of people that you can disagree. I never liked John David Jackson for her. I never liked that trainer switch. I don't think that he's really helping her develop her power as a professional. I don't see it. She still goes off in flurries, and it just looks like an amateurish style where you focusing on activity instead of picking your spots, putting the right punch in there to hurt the other girl. Because she hurt Marie 5 times. At least 5 times in that fight, Marie was ready to go, but she couldn't close the show.
If she could set her punches up better, I think she could get people out there.
Yeah.
But it's like Povetkin. Who's to say Povetkin really hits that hard? He just hits you perfectly. And he sets it up perfectly.
I'll tell you something. PEDs will help you do a lot of things, but punch placement, that comes down to boxing. And that was one of the most well-placed uppercuts I've seen in 45 years, and I'm only 38. That uppercut was magnificent.
To be fair, I have seen him land non-technical punches and just blow people's heads off.
That's true. What he did to Manuel Shaw? What he did?
Yeah, but to what caliber of opposition has he done that to, Mark?
He did it to the Hobbit.
No. Wait a minute. Let's
I'm not
be fair.
saying he doesn't have power. I'm just
To calm.
No, that was a perfect shot. That was a perfect left hook. That was a perfect left hook. That was placed on Temple.
Oh, Mike Perez.
Yeah, he just whamboed him.
Right? Povetkin, like, he's a lot of things. Like, y'all know, I don't hesitate to call him a pet cheat because, well, that's what you are, period. But when it comes to boxing, and I don't think that most people understand that, yes, peds can help you perform, but your ability to box is something else. And this man's punch placement is just like, yo, like, why is it so goddamn accurate? Like,
by the way, look, I was watching an interview the other day, an interview with Carlos Takam. He was asked the question, who hits the hardest? And he said he don't know. And then he was asked, was it Povetkin? And he said, no, I think Povetkin's actually the best technical puncher. He brought that up. He mentioned his technicality. He just lands perfect shots, and he hits hard, and he times it really well. So he has all three facets.
He turns his whole goddamn body into these shots, dog. Like, go. I advise anybody, if you want to understand why we always gushing about this guy, go back and look at how short that uppercut was. Look at how short it was. Like, it wasn't. You would think that at that distance, since you don't even have that much space, it ain't gonna be a lot on that uppercut. This dude, he ain't had enough room when he put it in there, and he cold slapped him just off of how accurate it was.
And it's not like Povetkin's a massive guy either. He's what, 220, 230 within that range all the time, and he's consistently hurt and put people away. And I know he's got the steroid tab, but those steroids haven't helped him do that. If anything, he tends to use stuff that increases his stamina because he has gas tank issues. So it's not really helps his power.
Yeah, exactly. Like his ability to box, his ability to set traps, his punch placement, that has absolutely nothing with meldonium or aspirin. All of those are things, those are vasodilators that you use so that you have more stamina late into a fight. As far as his ability to box, the dude is serious shit, man. Serious shit.
Well, a little guy like that winning an Olympic gold medal in a full-blown heavyweight division in super heavyweight.
Real shit.
And we hear, you know,
what did you say, John?
Didn't Povetkin win his gold medal in the super heavyweight division?
I thought it was the heavyweight division.
Was it? If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. I'm not 100% on it. It was, didn't he?
I'll go check.
Yeah.
I'll go check. When did he win that? 2004?
Yeah, it's 2004, isn't it?
Yeah, Athens. I was watching that.
Motherfucking Chocolatito versus Estrada week. How y'all feeling?
And then the schedule's looking good.
My camera didn't freeze. I'm waiting for y'all to make a decision. My camera didn't freeze.
No, you're right, John. You're right. It was super heavyweight he won it in.
Yeah, for a little guy like him, because he's not a big guy. I mean, what's he got? A 76-inch reach? He's 6'2", something like that.
All right. Now, first, I need y'all guys to remind me because I'm old. How does the Depeche Mode? How does that song go? The silence. The silence.
By who?
Depeche.
He's saying Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode. Enjoy the silence.
Yeah.
Words are very unnecessary.
Right. Words. Oh God! Somebody remind me how it goes.
I don't know the song well.
You know the song.
I don't know. I've never liked Depeche Mode. I've never liked Depeche Mode.
I think Mark's a bit too young for that song as well, really. Might be disrespectful.
Listen, man, Mark could tell you the color of sneakers in a black and white photo, all right? He knows the song.
I'll be honest with you, Julius. Depeche Mode weren't actually unnecessary. They weren't big in Ireland. They weren't big in Ireland.
Words are very unnecessary, but I can't remember the...
Yeah. Words are very unnecessary.
Oh yeah, now I know it.
Do you?
Are
Yeah, that's the one. But like,
Oh,
I'm clinically tone deaf, Judith, so I'm not singing it.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was, the funny thing is, I've been listening to that song literally every day, right? And as soon as I try to remember what the hell they were saying, I forgot. I'm getting old.
I dig that out the memory banks, Julius. I haven't listened to that since the 90s.
Listen, man, I'm on an 80s binge, right? I downloaded a bunch of Journey songs. I downloaded Dead or Alive. I just got wild 80s and early
UK tip there. Julius, hey.
Listen, man, you spin me right. That joint is hot, man. Like, if I just play that in the morning, I'll wake right the fuck up because it's so hot. Like, yo, it give me energy. If I listen to the music that they play now, I'm like, I don't want to listen to that
You
shit.
need to get him
No,
on
of course you don't, because all of it today is either about like, hey yo, I've killed 20 in the bag
Not
or
true.
whatever. No,
That's
hold
not
on.
true.
Hold
That's
on,
not true at all.
hold on, John. John, I said it's either. You're saying
No,
that's not true.
Next one then. What else could it be? Go on.
99% of it is shit ass love songs or breakup songs.
That's true.
No. Listen to Made in Lagos by Usyk.
You know who's
Yeah, okay, that's one artist. I said most of it.
I like
music that goes on.
contemporary artists. I like Dua Lipa. I like Dua Lipa, and I like Billie motherfucking Eilish. If it ain't them, I don't want to hear that.
Well,
Oh yeah, that's the others. That's the other side. That's the other side. That's the other, that's the break. That's the breakup side. That's the breakup side.
Billy took the old In Excess song. I've got to have your love. I've got to, and she revamped the shit. That shit is mean, man. That shit tough. I like Dua Lipa. That wasn't Billy. That was Dua Lipa. That song is tough, man. But In Excess is always gonna be my shit. So I grew up on that.
In Excess. You're going right back in the day. The only old music I've been listening to lately is Mary B and Rocky. Listen to that.
Words are very unnecessary. They can only do harm. That's my shit.
Bro, I was.
What are you gonna go on?
I was just gonna say I was cleaning the house to some fucking Culture Club yesterday, bro.
You said Culture Club?
Yeah, bro. Karma Chameleon, bro. Let's get it.
Come a chameleon.
You know what that song's about, do you? Do you know what that song's about?
Look, music, I'm going to say it again because I've said it before. I don't care who made the song. If the song is good, I'm listening.
Come a chameleon. It's about Boy George's love affair with a different band member that was bisexual, isn't it?
I don't know what it's about, bro.
That was
about.
I'm gonna say that was always my interpretation of the song. That what he was talking about was, my son trying to get in the camera. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. No, get out of here. My interpretation of the song was that was about him coming out. Because remember, in the 80s, it was a different time than it is now. So my interpretation of the song was that's what the song was about. That was about him and all of that. But the song is still dope because of the rhythm. The rhythm is dope.
It was about him coming out, yeah.
The harmonic.
He was having an affair with one of the other band members who was bisexual, so he was a chameleon because sometimes he'd be with Boy George and sometimes he'd be with a woman.
See, I didn't even
fucking know. That's why he's a chameleon.
You see, that's the type of shit that gets me down about music, man. And I'm not talking about whatever he's doing. I just don't want to listen. When I hear a melody and a bump like that, bro, I ain't listening to what he's saying. I'm just hearing Karma Chameleon. I'm like Mark in that aspect. Like, what gets me is the rhythm.
I'm all right with that, but
the drums, the melodic progression.
A very long time ago.
Bro, I don't.
Motherfucker could be sitting there thinking about a cheese sandwich. I don't give a shit on
what was the Saturday? Yeah, but this I grew up when Culture Club were actually quite big. What was the Saturday? No one's gonna remember this. There was a Saturday children's program in the 80s And I
Who was
remember
the
Boy
host?
George being on there. No Lemons.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. It was out in the
Yeah.
I can't think of the name
And
of
it's
it because
Lemons
that was
and
still out when
Sarah
I was a
Green.
kid.
No Lemons
Yeah.
and Sarah Green. It was after Tidwaz finished, because Tidwaz was the best one. Tidwaz had Chris Tarrant and Lenny Henry.
Listen, man. One of my favorite I don't like. It's a lot of shit, right? That I don't give a shit about, especially when it comes to music, because I just like good music and I don't give a shit. Freddie Mercury's my motherfucking guy. Freddie Mercury is always gonna be my fucking guy. Nobody can make it sound like Freddie motherfucking Mercury. Nobody.
Yeah, I was just never really a fan of Queen in the first place, but
What?
just not.
I'm sorry, bud.
Nah.
Plus, his name, that's my shit, dog. If that come on, don't stand next
I
to me.
can deal with that, but I went to see that film when I was a kid at cinema, so I can kind of live with that because I liked the film when I was little.
I'm gonna have myself a
Listen, man, few things that give me that hype than Freddie fucking Mercury, bro. Like,
bro, just stick on "Don't Stop Me Now," like, and you're done, bro. You gone,
bro. Freddie is the mother. Another one bites death. Son, I'll beat the shit out of
another one. Sick as shit, bro. That's some sick shit. His vocals were immense. My favorite vocalist though was always Robert Plant, bro. I'm big on Led Zeppelin.
I dig it.
You see, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Now I'm gonna say,
Now
you know,
but then,
I'm gonna say this: as far as vocal technical ability goes, Freddie's better.
Ozzy Osbourne has a unique quality that makes me want to put my television. No, he does. Like, he has a rich, his voice is rich and it's unique, and it make me want to pick up a television and throw it at something.
Look, Paranoid. Paranoid is a tune, and it'll always be a tune.
So is Crazy Train. So is Mr. Crowley. Yeah. Mr. Crowley's a fucking bump, bro.
If it's gonna be Brummies, I'm gonna have to, give them my support. Besides, I know. Well, I used to. When I was first growing up, I used to know Tony Iommi's son. Because they're like, they still lived in Birmingham at the time.
I've been on my 80s, early 90s shit. I downloaded a bunch of old Nirvana songs, especially when I saw that they revamped Something Away for Batman. I was like, oh my God, how could they have made this song better? They actually, because I loved that song when it came out. I was like,
yo, Julius, let me ask you the hard question, yeah?
All right.
Kurt Cobain or Chris Cornell?
Honestly, and a lot of people do this to me when it comes to Pac and Big, and I always go with who had the bigger body of work, or whose work had a more long-lasting effect. And for me, that's Kurt Cobain. I still listen to Teen Spirit to this day, bro. I still listen to it, bro, to this day, as if it just came out, because that's how good that song was.
Yeah, I know, but I still listen to Black Hole Sun, bro. As if it just came out.
Wait, Chris Cornell from Audio Slave, right? That he did
he's Audio Slave and Soundgarden.
Yeah, I like Chris Cornell. God bless the dead, because he passed away. He passed away a couple of years ago. But I mean, I see why it's a debate. I do. It's just that I don't feel.
Well, they're the same genre. Firstly, that's the first part of it. Secondly, they're from the same fucking area, Washington.
But can you say that Chris Cornell has been immortalized through his body of work the way that Kurt has? Kurt, like it's different, bro. I saw
Nirvana. I saw Nirvana at the Reading Festival in 1991. The Bleach album was good. I think the Bleach album had only just been released. So.
I'm gonna say this: the most overrated vocalist in the history of vocals is Evanescence. Overrated.
A.B. Lee?
Yeah.
No, bro.
Yes,
I think you're going too far.
Yes, bro. Yes. It's like, I love that song, right? That song is amazing. But you ain't nothing else that you did hit like that song. Not even Lithium. It didn't really.
Nah, bro. My Immortal hit hard, bro.
I mean, she's got don't get it twisted, because this is like a pound for pound conversation, right? In a pound for pound conversation, what you have to remember is that the two people that you're talking about are already excellent fighters. So saying that one is better than the other don't mean it's trash, right? That's what I'm getting at. Amy has a magnificent voice, but is a little overrated.
That's a hot take, bro, to say she's an overrated vocalist, though. Like, I get you if you say her songs are overrated, but vocally, I think she's not overrated. I think she's very overrated.
Mark, who's your best female vocalist there?
Vocalist?
Yeah.
Ever. Like, all-time greatest female vocalist?
Yeah.
That's broad, bro. That's a really broad.
So broad.
I'm going to give you mine, then. And it's not really based on her body of music. It's based on her ability to sing. That's the one, Whitney.
Whitney Houston, like, you asked
Whitney
that
Houston, because she got that double octave range, unfortunately, the music that she was given to work with wasn't the best.
Yeah. You see, I was going to name somebody off cuff. Real off cuff. Nobody would expect me to name, and that's Barbara Streisand.
What?
But hold on. Her song, Her and Donna Summer, okay? Enough is enough. It's an absolute fucking tune, first of all. Secondly, in that song, she does this fucking 4 lifts through 5 octaves, going up and up and up and up and up, and I've never seen anything like it. Never.
Barbara, I never would have thought. I
haven't heard that song, Mark, so I just can't comment. What's it called?
You know the song everywhere. Enough is enough is enough. I can't go on. That's the fucking tune, bro.
Yeah. Okay, and are you talking about in a live performance to do this?
Huh?
Now you nitpick. Now you're nitpicking.
Yeah, but you see, when Whitney performs live, her singing often sounds better than in the studio. That's true.
Yeah, she did early in her prime too. But remember when she started to return after all the cocaine and everything, her voice was fucked. So Barbara's nose job after that. Barbara before her nose job vocally live was a mess.
Do you think the nose job affected her vocals?
Yeah, I do completely.
It will do.
I am more than in love, and I do. That's a tune, bro.
All right. So I'm gonna say, look, for me, when John asked that question, the first name, without me even wanting to answer the question, because that's how it felt, was Whitney. So that must be my answer, because when he asked that question, Whitney Houston came to mind.
I understand Whitney is the choice, by the way. I'd say Whitney is, but like for me, I also think Barbara is in the conversation, and another person who I think is in the conversation is Leia Salonia.
Ooh, that's off the cuff.
For anyone who doesn't know, that's Princess motherfucking Jasmine. That's fucking Mulan, bro. That's Miss Saigon, bro. Theater singers too.
How familiar are any of you with M. Boney?
I am.
You know M. Boney. If you want to hear good fucking music that just makes you feel good, M. Boney just makes you feel good. Like man, I just fucking sniffed 15 lines of cocaine and I'm ready to jump over this building.
Are you saying M. Boney or Boney M?
Boney M.
Boney M. Now, know who you're talking about. Boney M is happy music.
That music makes me want to
Rasputin, Mark.
Oh my god.
That's a tune.
That's a fucking bop, bro.
Rasputin is better than 99.9% of shit that's on the radio right now.
It's better than everything on the radio right now. No joke.
Probably because you're being subjected to American music at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, as opposed to that amazingly enjoyable, like it doesn't want to make me commit suicide UK music.
Well, I don't know which section of UK music you're listening to. There's a whole world of music out there, and I don't really listen to that much UK music.
Nah, I mean, listen, the UK gave me Marina and the Diamonds. I don't think a lot of Americans are familiar with Marina, but I am. I like her. Rita Ora. I like Rita. Albanian, like Florian Marcoux. I liked her early stuff. I think her contemporary stuff is kind of.
But I love that song she has called "Your Song" by Rita Ora. It's not the Elton John. It's just a fucking chill, bro. Like it's chill. It's vibey. It's just vibey, bro.
Some postmodern. I don't know how contemporary I is because Marina's album, like, she came out fucking years ago, man. I'm Not a Robot is fucking old, bro, but it's still dope. I still listen to that shit. As far as contemporary artists that I would put in that conversation, I think Ariana Grande has a good voice. She has a great voice. For someone so goddamn small, she could fit in your pocket.
You're being excited. You're being excited.
Yo, who in the chat's out there putting Justin Bieber in there, bro?
Justin Bieber, like, come on, dog, be serious.
Look, Justin Bieber early, terrible. Right now, terrible. 2015, 2016, when that album came out where he had fucking Love Yourself on it, Sorry, that was not bad. That was alright. That was alright.
Yeah.
I'll give him his credit on that. That was okay.
When he was young, I mean, I still think of him as a prodigy. It's just that I think that the lifestyle kind of got to him, you know, because his music doesn't, I don't know, it don't hit like it did before. It don't hit. But that's all right, because that could just be me getting old. Like, I could be turning into Joe Budden and not realize it, that I just hate young people, which is possible because I think young people are stupid.
Yeah, by the way, since John asked, like,
I think you're already there, Julius.
Since John asked who's the best vocalist, who's the best female vocalist, seriously, who's your favorite female vocalist? I'm gonna say mine straight off the bat is Ella Fitzgerald, because I love jazz music, always have.
That's a tough question because
Ella's a good shout. I enjoy some Ella.
That's tough because even though I think of Whitney as being the most gifted, I can't say that she's my favorite. Like, favorite,
it's not mine because of the music that they gave her to work with.
Yeah, like
the songwriting was not
upon the
all of that.
And the sun begins to fade.
Listen, contemporary, because I'm gonna stick to postmodern, because if I get into the 2000s and the 90s and the 80s, the catalog is too long to have to choose from. But Adele, her voice, I feel it like in my bones, like in my goddamn feet.
But what, Julius? Here's my problem. Right? This will always be my problem. What do you do at an Adele concert?
You cry.
What?
Cry.
Like, I ain't going to a concert to hear, like, if all I ask is if this is the last. Like, I don't need that.
To an Adele concert, it's the crowd, bro. Like, you ain't going over there to dance. You go over there with the Kleenex. Like,
bro, I can get the best of both worlds by going to see Katy Perry because I can dance and I'll cry at how bad she sounds. It's
wait a minute. And a lot of people aren't gonna like me for saying this. I look at Katy as being in the same lane. I already know John is probably gonna lambast me for this, and probably Mark too. I think of Katy as being in the same lane as Pat Benatar, as Joan Jett, because her sound is not anybody else's sound. It's her motherfucking sound. It's not, and to me.
I
would agree if she could sing live. I'd agree if she could sing.
Zero opinion on this subject because I never ever hear any of her music ever.
Look, when she came out, right? And I always go by this, which is the same thing I do for Kid Cudi. I don't think of Kid Cudi as a rapper. Kid Cudi is Kid Cudi, right? That's
true. I agree with you on that, by the way. I don't even think he has a genre. It's just Cudi.
Exactly, and he makes good, like, motherfucker make good music, but he has his motherfucking lane, and you can only go to him for what he gives you. I think of Katy sort of in that lane because when she came out, that's what she was doing. She kissed the girl, and she fucking liked it.
She liked it,
and she liked it, and I liked it.
And then she was hot and she was cold. She was up there.
Hot and you're cold, yes and you're no, in her butt. That shit was great.
Bro, the best line in that song is "You change your mind like a girl changes clothes." Yeah, you PMS like a bitch I would know. That's fucking fire.
That song is so universal that I could literally use it as an intro for boxing, and it'll fit. It'll fit. Change your mind. Yeah, that shit fits, bro.
Julius is bumping to Katy Perry in his head.
Bro, hey man, I like a lot of fucking music from all over the fucking catalog. I've always been that way. Like, it's good music all over the place.
I'm the same, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's always true.
Like, if I told everybody my two favorite artists, like my favorite things to listen to on a regular basis, it would fucking shock them. One, Led Zeppelin. Two, John Denver. Like, it's
all right.
It's different.
Nostalgia. This not John is going to know this guy. Peter Cetera, one of the most underrated vocalists of all time. Peter Cetera.
Absolute facts. I know, but it's Chicago.
Frontman for Chicago. Underrated.
I don't know.
He's an alto tenor. He's an alto tenor. He's so powerful. Like, everybody needs a little time away. I heard a sing. And then he does that lift from each other.
Oh my God, fucking Peter Cetera. Motherfuckers don't know, man. Music really sucks.
Okay, best male vocalist then.
Oh, that's tough.
Freddie Mercury.
No. Sam Cooke.
No. Sam
Michael
Cooke.
Bolton?
Sam Cooke.
Are you talking about
Sam
I
Cooke?
was born. That guy?
Yeah. Yes.
I think Freddie had way more of a vocal range. Even if we get into there, like, I'm trying to think of dude's name. Hold on. Oh, I think Jackie Wilson.
Yeah.
Jackie Wilson's up there.
I think Phil Collins deserves a shout. I don't think he had the range that Freddie had. I'm just look, man. Phil Collins.
We're talking vocals, Nunes, not the music.
Phil Collins.
I'm talking about the Sam Cooke just for musical ability to sing, not soul in his voice, not
all right.
Of music.
All right.
In a Whitney sense, no. Like, he's not my favorite all-time vocalist, but just technical ability.
Well, if we want to get into technical ability, Luciano Pavarotti, right?
Colin Hay.
That's
Don't argue with me. Don't Colin Hay, right?
Okay.
I come from London.
Colin Hay. Who can it be now?
Overkill is that tune.
Who can that be knocking at my door? Stay away. Don't. I feel that way 100 times a day, bro. That song still speaks to me. Stay away. Don't come around here no more. All I wish is to be alone. I gotta sing that to my son because he keeps trying to come into the frame.
I sing Overkill nearly once a week, bro. It's like straight up. Like, I listen to that song very often. I love it. Like, I can't get to sleep. I think of all the implications. Great song, bro.
Peter Gabriel too, though.
Well, I was gonna say that, Julius. I don't even think Phil Collins is the best frontman of Genesis vocally. I think Peter Gabriel was the best frontman of Genesis vocally.
Fair enough. That's fair because he doesn't see what I like about Phil is his voice is unique. I don't think you can compare Phil to someone else. There's folks that they're kind of in the same lane. Like, you could think of Freddie Mercury in a Peter Cetera conversation and vice versa. I don't really think of Phil in any other lane except, no, that's Phil, bro. That's Phil Collins, bro. It's just Phil.
People in the chat saying, "Where's the boxing talk, please?" Will we get to boxing? I'm actually enjoying this conversation a lot.
Bro, yeah, like y'all get tired of hearing about how Javante Davis is ducking whole weight classes? Y'all get tired of that?
Yeah, Julius, I've got a question for you. Question for you.
All right.
So, how are you rating Tony Yoka after his last performance?
I don't think that he's not where I expected, but I still see a guy. I don't know that he's ever going to win a world title because that's a different question. But that's
a hard question to answer a heavyweight.
Exactly. But I see a guy that will be a top 10 heavyweight. I see that like, yeah, I can still see a lot of people that he could beat. Like, somebody brought up Carlos Takam as that should be his next fight. I agree. Like, yeah, but that's going to be
they're friends. They are friends. That's the thing. From what I understand, I know people hate hearing. Hold on, John. Hold on. I know a lot of people don't like hearing that, right? But the reality of it is, they both said, and they've said in French media multiple times, they're not interested in fighting each other because of their friendship.
That's fair enough, and that's what I said.
I think that's too soon anyway. From what I've seen from him so far.
The reason I brought him up, John, is because after the fight, you know, I went to Twitter to see what people was talking about. I think Top Rank asked on the Top Rank side. I think that was the Top Rank page. It's like, well, who would you like to see Tony fight next? I seen somebody say Carlos the Common. I'm like, yeah, I think he's ready for Carlos. I think it'll be a hard fight. But if the question is he ready for somebody like Carlos? I think he is. He could lose. But I think he's ready.
I'm not so sure that he is ready for that. Also, Top Rank. I know Tony's signed with Top Rank, but they don't really seem to be that involved. It's like, who's it for? Juhaupas, Hamer, and Dzeko. They're all just European-based fighters, aren't they? Fighting out.
I will say one thing, though. I
like the activity level. I would give him credit for the.
I do like.
Hold on, let me get to this super chat. What do you guys think of Jared Anderson as a prospect? Will he be? No, he's levels above. To me, Jared Anderson, that kid might win a title, and I know it's presumptuous, but he looks sensational, bro. Like,
it's early. It is early. We can all agree on that. It is early.
It's early.
My thing is,
what are his dimensions like, Julius?
He's 6'4.5". I think he's got an 80-inch reach, and he's 20.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not the biggest guy. He's not.
Hold on. Julius, he's not the biggest guy yet. He's 20.
Exactly.
But also, like, an 80-inch reach is still pretty respectable.
And
yes.
Wait a minute.
Joseph Parker.
Wait a minute. That's 80-inch reach on an athletic fighter, right? Athletic fighter that can move around.
Let me just go confirm that reach, unless I'm not, like, I said I think.
The thing that I think Parker's always going to have against him is because of his dimensions, he's got to be an inside fighter.
Okay, I was off. He's got a 78.5-inch reach.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's still okay. It's the same as Dillian and a lot of people.
But he's not very wide across the shoulders. He's got long-ass arms, and I think that's where his wingspan comes from, is the length of his arm. So he may have a greater arm reach than some people. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I do, but the shoulder comes into it and the lead hand quite a lot anyway.
True.
If the question...
But the point that I'm trying to make is, like, Joseph Parker has to be an inside fighter.
Yeah, he doesn't have a choice.
He doesn't have the right mentality for that type of fighting.
Here's the thing,
if you're more athletic, you've got more options. You can do more things.
Here's the thing with Jared, right? Is whilst he's 6'4" and he's young and he's 20, he's 21 apparently. He's 6'4", 78.5-inch reach, right? He's 250 pounds and he's fast as all hell.
Yes.
Fast as all hell at 250.
Yes. I haven't been this excited about an American heavyweight prospect in a very long time. And I see that this kid...
And when you say he's fast as hell, Mark, are you including foot and hand speed or just hand speed?
Yes, I'm including his feet. I am including his feet, his ability to ride off of a jab and move in and out. And then
those sort of dimensions and you've got a really good feet, then it counteracts it anyway.
I'm not saying he has educated feet. I'm saying they're fast. They'll become more educated.
The speed is
they're
something that you can't...
For 250 pounds, John, they are fast. For 250, they're fast.
Listen, man, if you watch him move, you'd never guess, that's a 250-pound man, dog. He looked like a cruiserweight. He looked like a cruiserweight. He don't look
you think he looked like a cruiserweight. Yeah, I think he looked like a cruiserweight too, but he's solid and he's agile.
Yep.
Gerard Anderson is a beast, bro.
Bro, he's, to me, like I said, and it might be early. I might be a little bit too excited. But to me, I see a world champion. That's what I see. Like,
well, that's
he could be Daniel Dubois 2.0.
Yes. If you're gonna fuck with me, and you love my guy Daniel, yes, Jared will beat him.
Hold on, South London. When has anybody been talking about Daniel Dubois' foot speed? When has anybody ever spoken about that?
I have, but not positively.
That's my point.
No, I'm not necessarily talking about the styles, but I'm more talking about what you think they could do in the future.
Daniel, the thing that everybody overlooked Daniel's not really that big. They look at the muscles, they look at the weight, and they ignore the length. And Joyce, the first time he was a smaller man, and he didn't know how to defend somebody with a bigger ring. So he used his face to defend the jab.
Daniel, that was one hell of a big body there.
Daniel is not as physically imposing. If you look at Daniel by himself in a picture, you think that this fucking guy's huge. But Joe was actually the bigger guy.
But massive. Like people, because he doesn't have, he's not heavily muscled. People don't realize how big Joe actually is. But the actual frame that frame been given is enormous. Like huge.
Joe Joyce is monstrously big. He is huge. He's just a shed.
He's massive.
He's just a shed.
Like
now, one thing about the UK is y'all got like better matchups for heavyweight. Y'all got a way lot better matchups.
I'm gonna go around the board. I don't want to see no fence riding. I'm gonna go around the board. Joyce versus Usyk. Make a decision. Mark.
Usyk. Points.
John.
Joyce.
South London.
Joyce.
Troy. All right, we're gonna go to Leo. Leo.
Joyce.
Ooh, that's 3 Joyces. Ronald.
Usyk.
Woo! 3-2. Wait a minute. Intangible has just joined the chat. Who do you got? Make a decision. Usyk, Joyce.
I got Alexander Usyk.
All right. Troy's going to have to be the tiebreaker. That's 3-3. 3-3. Troy, you got to make a decision.
Julius. Joyce or Usyk?
What? Who you got, Troy?
Joyce. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who you got?
He said he has Joe Joyce.
That's 4.
Damn. Everybody sleeping on Usyk, huh?
I'm leaning to it. I'm leaning to it.
I think Usyk just showed us that he could be hit, and obviously, like the way he dealt with Dubois, he just showed me that if he wanted to actually impose his size on Usyk, I don't know how he would react. In fact, I think he might get beaten up, to be fair.
South
I have a feeling Usyk is going to come in.
Before y'all say anything, I'm going to say this. You do realize that Usyk can move his head, stay off the line, a hell of a lot better than Daniel Dubois can.
Yeah, he can move his head. But the thing is, he got touched up. But who was that guy that he fought first? Was it Witherspoon?
Witherspoon touched him up quite a lot. And the other thing,
y'all reading that shit wrong. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Make your pick.
Reading that shit the wrong way because Witherspoon, unlike Joe Joyce, is eye level to Usyk. That actually creates a harder situation when the guy is eye level to you. Joe has to punch down to hit this guy, right? That gives Usyk the opportunity to bob and weave and get under that shit. It's different. It's harder to deal with somebody that's out.
Okay, Julius, when have you seen Usyk bob and weave, close the distance, and went inside?
I'm talking about the dude that
Marco Hawk.
All right.
Okay.
I see your point.
You know what? Usyk has a tendency to play with his food, though. He kind of reminds me of Terrence Crawford, like in certain positions of fighters that he fights.
Yeah.
He'll let you hit him. But then
Usyk's gonna have to get inside on Joe to land because Joe's gonna have the reach advantage.
And he hasn't done that before, John. He hasn't done that before.
He had a close one with Chisora as well.
Joe can go to the body as well.
But guess what, though? He's not going to be there because the punch is so slow.
All right, we're gonna go around the table one at a time. There's too many people talking. Intangible boxing. Hey, everybody, shut the hell up. Intangible boxing. Why does Usyk win this fight?
I think Usyk wins this fight because you know, I think we're reading into the Dubois performance a bit too much. Dubois was a bit inexperienced, and the one thing I think Usyk is going to have over him is Joyce still doesn't have the best defense, even though he does have some versatility in his game. He doesn't quite have the best defense, and Usyk's foot speed and hand speed is going to be a bit too much for him. I think he's going to be able to get away from Joe Joyce, and Joe Joyce isn't going to be able to cut the ring off on him. He had problems doing so against Brian Jennings. I just think Usyk's combination punching activity is going to be a little bit too much for him, but it's definitely going to be a very tough fight. Now, as far as Usyk not really being able to come forward against Marco Huck, he was walking him down and getting him near the ropes. And Usyk was able to come forward and beat Tabiso Machunu up near the ropes, and same with Michael Hunter, even though those guys are much smaller than Joe Joyce, of course, to be fair.
Now, John, what do you say to that shit?
When Usyk comes inside, I'm not sure he can take the weight of Joe's punches. I think Joe's going to wear the body. So for Usyk to score, he's got to get inside. And that's going to suit Joe, because if Joe has to go looking for Usyk, he's going to lose. So the reason that I think Joe's going to do well is because for Usyk to score, he's got to get inside. If Joe holds him, the difference in size and strength is going to be ridiculous. And if Joe invests in the body, Joe invests in the body and also uses some rough ass inside tactics, then I think it's going to be a very long night for Usyk. Also, since he's moved to heavyweight, his body looks like it's breaking down. I have not seen a performance from Usyk since he's moved up that told me he's got the same foot and hand speed he had at cruiserweight. Whether it's age, injury, or the weight.
Now we're gonna pass it over to Mark. Mark, what do you say to that shit?
I think it would be fair if Joe Joyce in the pocket was actually better than he is at length. I think Joe Joyce relies a lot on his. I think he relies a lot on leverage and landing at people by positioning his feet well and prodding the jab, so he gets into awkward positions. But this is the first heavyweight. Well, the second heavyweight he won't have a foot speed advantage over. The first one was Brian Jennings, which is the fight where he arguably, to some people, lost. He also uses guards against guys shorter than him, and people can dissect off the guard. And I think Usyk has the best guard dissection in the heavyweight division. That's why he struggled with Chisora to some merit, anyways, because Chisora doesn't have a guard. Chisora does all different weird shit. It's very unorthodox, where Joyce is more up and down. Usyk can read that. I think speed's going to pay the bills. I also think Usyk's going to come in lighter in this fight than people think. I think he knows that speed kills in this one. This is about speed. Yeah, he's not. He doesn't. If he tries to go strength for strength with Joe Joyce, that's the dumbest decision of his life. He's going to go for speed. I think he'll be like 207, 208.
Leo, why does Joe Joyce win this fight, in your opinion?
I think Usyk is not looking as good as in cruiserweight. I think it's looking slower, lack of activity, and I think Joe is gonna catching up in the later rounds.
So you think he's gonna wear him down?
Yes.
All right, that's fair, because I said this before. I'll say it again. World Series of Boxing, that was what, 3 rounds, right? That was 3 rounds. That fight they had.
It's five
rounds. Yeah, pardon me, 5 rounds. This 12-round fight, folks. You got to deal with Big Joe for 12 rounds. Can Usyk do it? Sakib, can he do it?
I don't know, because I think if Joe Joyce can work on his stamina, I reckon he might actually edge out a win. Although on the other hand, the heavyweight Usyk that we have seen have been under circumstances which I would say are, I wouldn't say strange. Like, his first fight was a showcase fight, and his second fight was against someone like Chisora, who, like Mark had alluded to earlier, is unorthodox, does things very differently to someone like Joe Joyce.
That's true. Who do you put your money on, dog? You can't play the fence. If you can play the fence, I'm gonna kick you out. You gotta make a decision. Make a decision. Who's gonna win that fight?
I mean, I'm leaning towards Joyce only because of only because of the. I know Dubois is an entirely different type of opponent to someone like Alexander Usyk, but I think Joyce has underrated qualities as a boxer, which I think at first glance people may not see. I mean, up until the Dubois fight, some people were, for example, characterizing him as someone who wouldn't be able to handle something to the speed of like Dubois' punches, for example, or that he's extremely slow. I think he's got a deceptive style, which I think makes for a compelling matchup. But I honestly think Joyce might be able to pull this one off.
All right, I'm gonna say that I think I agree with Sakib in this. What Joe did to Daniel ain't got a goddamn motherfucking thing to do with Usyk. Those are entirely different fighters with different dimensions that fight out of a different stance and have very different base styles. Whatever the fuck Joe just did to Daniel ain't got a goddamn motherfucking thing to do with Usyk. And I agree with Mark's point that Usyk has to know this is not a gunfight. And if you make this a gunfight, then you're an idiot. You're not going to win this fight through strength of arms. That being said, I am leaning towards Usyk on points.
All right. Well,
Wait, you and I are agreeing?
All right.
It's not the first time that happened.
I'm going to
but every time it happens.
You see when he fought what's that guy's name? What is his name? You know Brian Jennings. When he fought Brian Jennings, was Ishmael Salas his trainer then?
No, it wasn't.
No.
There's another point about Brian Jennings that you must have overlooked as well. Jennings has got an 84-inch reach.
That's true.
Usyk has got 78-inch reach.
That's true, John.
That's
and I
a
completely, John,
big
I completely agree with you, right? He does.
No,
But
you
where
don't,
was
man.
Brian Jennings? No, hold on. Before you go to make any point, was Jennings winning that fight at length, or was he winning it up close? Because from what I seen, when he was winning, it was all up close, which had nothing to do with reach.
He was getting off those right hands. Oh my goodness. Y'all don't see what I see. Oh my goodness.
I tell you what I can see, right? I see that Joyce beats him with his jab. That's actually nice, right?
It's good stuff.
Joyce will beat him with his jab. You know what? I got a question for the panel.
Send that to me.
Nah, you keep that to yourself. But I got a question for the panel. You know, what does Usyk do best? You know, what's his strength?
Movement.
What's his strength in the ring? Huh?
Movement.
He has two of them. Well, he has two of them. That and he likes to set the pace, right?
Yeah.
That's why he tires everybody's out, because he sets the pace. He's not going to have that opportunity with Joyce, because Joyce will continue to pump that slow, steady jab at him. And every time he tries to come in, he's going to run into it.
That jab is not going to bother him. That jab is not going to bother him.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
There's one other thing about Joyce that I think everybody always overlooks. There's one thing that everybody overlooks, Joyce. What kills speed? What kills speed?
Timing kills speed. Timing.
Exactly. So what does Joyce have in abundance?
Timing, because he's not
He
fast.
has great timing. And what has Alexander Usyk got in abundance?
I have no idea. I've never
Go
seen
on, Mark. Answer the question. Go on.
He's got speed and timing. He's got both.
Okay, great. But he's not fighting Usyk, though.
Yes, he is.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
They about to fight for the WBO for the WBO.
I don't care what title's on the line. They're about to fight for our fucking enjoyment. Everybody in the chat is hype. What?
No, it's like this. Isn't it for the mandatory? It's for the mandatory position to the WBO, isn't it?
Okay, that makes more sense now. But they're fighting for a title. How does that affect Fury and Joshua?
It doesn't. It's how they sidestep Usyk with mandatory.
Okay, well, I'm sticking with my Joyce and jab, man. And on top of that, right, I don't think Usyk could really hurt Joyce. I don't think he could hurt him. And he can't overwhelm him with punches.
Do you think gives Joshua the most problems?
Say that again, John. I didn't hear you.
No,
that
it was me.
was South London. Yeah.
I said, which one of them gives Joshua the most problems?
Fury.
No, wait. We're not talking about them. We're talking about between Joe and Usyk. I would say Usyk gives him more problems. Usyk gives him more problems. The footwork, the angles, the elusiveness. It's a small target that moves a lot better than you do. Usyk is the toughest choice.
I think they both represent a very different style of challenge, Julius. They both represent a different style of challenge to him.
He
and I think
Joe out. He knocks him smooth.
I'm not too sure on that.
I'm not
impressed with Usyk.
I think that could be a battle of attrition right there.
I'll be your Huckleberry. He knocks that dude out, dog.
I think that could be a battle of attrition.
Yeah, because in the Joe Joyce fight, Joshua would have to encounter a guy whose work rate and pacing is going to really test him, as he's a person who tends to start to wear down in the middle rounds. That's where Joe Joyce is going to really come on. And the challenge he's going to face in the Usyk fight is he's going to have to cut the ring off against him. That's going to be a difficult task. But his stamina is going to be tested really hard against Joe Joyce and Joe Joyce's work rate. Even though he's going to have counterpunching opportunities, Joe Joyce is going to be coming in with 3 or 4 shots, whereas Joshua is going to be entering exchanges with 1 or 2 counters.
Well, there's a couple of things there that Joe and AJ know each other pretty intimately. They did spar for a long time. So that's got challenges in itself, because each one knows the other one to a degree. But then they've both added stuff to their game since then. An interesting thing that Joe Joyce went on record saying when he's been asked about the Tyson Fury fight is that he doesn't think it's a good idea to stand in the pocket and exchange with Joshua. So I don't think he'd do that. Like against Samuel Dubois, Joe intentionally didn't really get hit a lot. He circled away from Dubois' right hand, didn't he? So I think it'd be quite tactical between Joe Joyce and AJ, especially from Joe Joyce's side. I think there's just 2 different propositions.
It's 2 different propositions, but I can see Joshua.
Because Joe Joyce could
wait. I could see Joshua winning that fight most of the rounds, long distance, moving around the ring behind his jab. I don't think he'd try to make it a gunfight, but I think he'd wear down Joe with that jab and take him out late. That's what I think.
I
he would beat Joe Joyce the same way he beat.
Fight on the outside.
I'm not done. Now everybody's high off the Dubois shit. The same way everybody. Wait a minute. Everybody's high.
That's not what I was saying.
Everybody's high off the Wilder shit with Fury. Wilder is not Joshua.
Nah, that's not it.
You're not actually listening to what I'm saying, Nunes. So I think AJ would win on the outside. But what I'm telling you is, Joe Joyce has gone on record saying it's not a good idea to stand in the pocket with AJ and exchange with him. He said it recently when he's been asked about the Fury fight, because Joe's sparred AJ a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They were like sparring all the time when Joe was on the GB team, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he knows the power that AJ carries. So what I'm trying to say is, I don't think Joe would want to go into the pocket either.
Well, he can't win that fight.
He didn't win against Dubois once, did he?
He can't win against. We're talking about AJ. He can't win against AJ from the outside. He can't.
No, I know he can't. I'd be interested to see what he does, because he's got a reach disadvantage. He's got a weight advantage, and they're about eye level in height. So I think it'd be quite interesting tactical fight.
AJ beats him. That's the answer.
I think so. But I think AJ's got more ways to beat him as well. I think AJ can beat him on the outside and the inside.
AJ beats him. Beats him. Simple. It's simple. Troy, you got to make a decision here.
I did, man. I said.
No. Wait a minute. You can't ride the fence on this. You got to make a decision. You got to be decisive.
With who? Joyce and Usyk?
Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. Whitney Houston.
They're really not my 2 favorites, but I'll go with Mariah Carey, man, because back in the day, she had an acrobatic voice. She could hit them notes like I've never heard anybody hit, and all that.
Who is
Whitney was
Who's Troy Graham's favorite female vocalist, regardless of the era?
I don't have one, but I would have to say who touches me the most when I listen to him. I don't know. I never gave that any thought, to be honest with you. Patti LaBelle. That's who it is.
More than anybody else.
Yeah, more than anybody. Female.
Yeah.
Female. You said female, right?
Yeah. Female.
Patti LaBelle. Right.
All right. Male.
Now, if you ask me my favorite vocalist, that'll be Stevie, and Nat King Cole, because they can do so much with their voices.
Everybody from our generation is gonna cop out. They're gonna fucking say Stevie Wonder or Lionel Richie. I already see.
That's not true, Julius. Listen, Stevie could do 1,000,001 things with his voice. Nat King Cole was on par with Frank Sinatra, who I like also, but he also did a Spanish album. Did you know that? He went to Cuba and did a whole album in Spanish, and he has a lot of range and all that. But you also have to look at the fighters who copied Stevie. Aaron Hall, Charlie Wilson, R. Kelly, Montel Jordan. All them people are copies of Stevie Wonder, man.
See, Troy, you're proving my point that's why I consider it a cop-out. Like, of course somebody's going to say Stevie the same way. Of course somebody might say Mike Jackson, or of course somebody might say Prince. Somebody lesser known than Stevie. Let's phrase
David Ruffin. Exactly. He sang in The Temptations. He could hit every octave, and his voice has never been copied. Right. Marvin Gaye said that his voice had more pain and power than his own voice. Marvin Gaye said that he was a much better singer and he had more power than him. That's how bad David was, and he's never been copied ever.
All right. Now, I'm gonna let y'all champ this joint right quick because I gotta go make a cup of coffee. You guys argue
about what? The music? We talk about the music, or we sticking to boxing?
The music, the boxing. Is Roddy Piper's "They Live" a better movie than Night of the Living Dead? Argue about that.
No movie ever made was worth a penny. No movie that man ever made was worth anything.
They Live changed my life, dog. That movie that movie hits, man. It hits. Obey, procreate, consume. It hits.
All I can tell you, Julius, that movie is like the white rabbit in the woods, and I'm the grizzly bear, baby. That's all I got to tell you. That movie is terrible.
That movie is amazing, bro. That movie is amazing.
Which movie are you talking about, Julius?
Roddy Piper, They Live, 1980s.
I got a clue what film it is.
I was about 14 when it came out, so it probably came out in 85.
What's the name of the film?
The movie is about a guy. He's a blue-collar guy. There's a bad recession, really a Great Depression. There are no jobs, right? So he comes to L.A., and he finds these glasses in an alley. He finds out with the glasses that there's subliminal message all over the place, and the country's being run by aliens.
No, I never seen it. No,
you never seen They Live? With Keith
Do not waste your time or money, please.
During the 80s, most of my time was spent watching ninja films.
Fair enough. Mine was too. But that used to come on Channel 11 every Saturday. Well, not every Saturday, but Channel 11 used to give you 3 movies on Saturday. One at 1, one at 3, and then another one I think at 8 o'clock. Like the main event or whatever the fuck it was.
Okay, Julius. Sakura Killers or Revenge of the Ninja 3?
Say it again.
Sakura Killers or Revenge of the Ninja 3?
Is Revenge of the Ninja the one with Michael Dudikoff? No, that's American Ninja. I didn't see Revenge of the Ninja. Seen American Ninja. Michael Dudikoff.
You seen Sakura Killers?
I said I didn't see it.
No, Sakura Killers, not Revenge of the Ninja. Sakura Killers is a different film.
I didn't see that either. I don't know what that is. That anime.
Okay. No, it's the ninja film.
Do you mean Sakura Killers?
Yeah. I'm a bro, mate.
Oh.
Give me a break.
Commiserations.
You talk about martial arts movie now?
Hey, where are you from?
Right. You know, how about the 5 Deadly Venoms then?
Yeah, that's okay.
Y'all remember that? How about the Kids with the Golden Arm?
You're more into the Kung Fu genre now, though, aren't you?
Yeah. Saturday afternoon Kung Fu movies, and I used to run back in my apartment in New York to watch them. Yeah.
So I'm more on the Japanese ones, really. But sort
Okay.
of Japanese American crossover. Try and remember the name of the guy.
No,
but he was the ninja actor. His name was Show something.
Yeah, but when y'all were talking about singers, I'm surprised that nobody really brought up, like I said, Stevie, and there's one other guy that I'm really surprised that nobody brought up.
I was going for technical singers, and Stevie's a good shout, but I just think Sam Cooke has got ridiculous.
Donny Hathaway. I didn't hear his name come out neither.
Okay.
I can listen to him all day, man. When I'm in the mood, at least. You have to be in the mood to listen to Donny. Like, as far somebody's alarm is going off, but as far as the singers now, I got a question for you, the panel. Who would you say is the top overall vocalist today?
Dimash Kudaibergen.
What was that?
Dimash Kudaibergen from Kazakhstan.
I've never heard of him. Anybody else heard of him?
I think that might be because he sings in Kazakh. He's not necessarily a break the world stage.
He can do it. He can do all the things. He has the technique, the range.
I can't even. What's his name?
Dimash. If you look for Dimash, it's gonna.
It'll come up
immediately.
Okay. I don't really know anything about Kazakh.
Anybody else? It's like 5 of us on here. Julia's in the bathroom or something.
It depends what you have to, Troy, because I don't really listen to many vocalists that actually sing anymore. And the ones that do the ones that do sing, the ones that I listen to, when I hear them live, I'm like, well, they've done a lot of work in the studio on your behalf, unfortunately.
Who do you listen to, man? Because when it comes to music, I'm very spiritual. So, anything that moves my spirit in that instance, I don't give a damn if it's opera, country, whatever the hell it is. That's what I'm listening to.
Yeah, but you were on about is releasing music today. So I listen to old music, but current music, not many of them can genuinely hold a tune.
I agree with you. Ain't too many great singers nowadays. They're all high pitched for some reason, and they're not really all that good. They're just high pitched and they whine.
Music sucks.
I know.
Music today sucks. That's why I've been on my 80s,
It
70s.
doesn't suck, but for like a high quality singing ability, I don't think there's too many out there that I know.
Well, because they rely more on engineers and producers
That's basically what I said. That's basically what I said. Like,
yeah, that's what it is. Like,
yeah,
you got stuff now that's so overproduced. It's like, bro, do you even really sing like that, or do you even really sound like that, or is that just the engineer making you sound like that?
So I just told you that I think Made in Lagos is a really good album. Yeah, but when I've seen Whiskey do a live performance, I was pretty disappointed with the quality of the vocal. But like the music on it is really good, I think.
Man, I'm still out of tune of this conversation because I don't even really listen to music. So.
You don't?
Nah,
What's your age group, if you don't mind me asking? What's your age group?
I'm 29.
Really? Okay.
But it's more because I bump into music rather than like actively look for artists.
I'm gonna tell you why that is, Sakib. Because this generation's music sucks. When I was 29, but it's the truth.
send you some music on IG, Julius. I'm gonna send you some music on your IG.
When I was 29 years ago, you couldn't get away from music because that's how good it was. You couldn't get away.
I think it's all. I mean, it's the subjectivity of art anyway. I mean, I've always been more into like soundtracks. Bands who normally focus more on the music.
It's not it's not because of that. It's because the music sucks. Just say it with me. It sucks.
No.
It sucks. You're gonna say that because it sucks.
I'm gonna send you some current music links on your IG, Julius, and you can reply on that.
That's what it is, bro. That is because it sucks.
It doesn't all suck. American music at the moment isn't at its best.
Look,
when you think about what American music has been in the past.
Someone just said
how good it has been in the past. Currently, American music is not. It's a bit like boxing.
John,
very well.
Who's our Prince? Who's our Flash in the Pan? Who's this generation's Vanilla Ice? You see what I mean? Even our flashes in the pan from the 80s and the 90s put out more music that had more influence and more of an effect than what's going on in the radio right now. I'm telling you. What's the dance? What's the Macarena? What's the two-step for this generation? What's the cha-cha slide? What is it?
And I'm going to tick off a lot of people by saying this, but I was never a big Prince fan. All the stuff with Purple Rain and When Doves Cry, I like that.
I don't like Prince.
But
as soon as you've got a musician that says he's going to make music without bass, I'm just going to turn it off.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in that at all. Like, bass,
I agree with that.
Comes ahead of everything, really, for me.
Bass is very important. Not critical. What is critical, actually, it is. That could determine whether or not I like a song. If it ain't no goddamn bass, like what is this, dog? What is this? But
I'm gonna do some music with some high quality bass, Julius.
No, we gotta get back to Sakib. It sucks. That's what it is, bro. If this was the 90s or the 80s, you couldn't get away from music in the 90s and the 80s. You couldn't. If you wanted.
I mean, I grew up amongst music in the 90s, but like maybe it's because of where I lived in the UK, but it just seemed to be all like East and West Coast. Well, I live in London now. But I grew up in Cambridgeshire. But
okay.
It's not Cambridge's fault, Sakib. It's not Cambridge's fault. It's that the music.
I don't live in Cambridge. So it's
not London's fault. It's not London's fault or Hertfordshire's fault.
There's good music coming out of London, Julius. There's good music coming out of London at the moment.
Right.
I mean, for me, like, I've never wanted to like. I mean, I think I've progressed where I just genuinely just enjoy film soundtracks, video game soundtracks, stuff like that. Someone said you listen to K-pop.
Streets of Rage has the best soundtrack of any video. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
No.
It makes me want to walk down the block and punch people.
I remember playing Streets of Rage as a kid. Yeah, it's got a great soundtrack, but you might like the chiptune that's in the most recent one because there was a reboot of the series last year actually.
Yeah, I heard they made a Streets of Rage 4. I contemplated buying a console. I haven't played video games in years. It's not my thing.
That makes two of us. Two of us, man.
I only really was a video game.
I haven't really played them.
All right, so this is how
Atari was making consoles.
It's like I had an era, and I was never really a full blown gamer. But PS1, I like Metal Gear Solid. I liked a lot of the games on PS1 and PS2.
Did you play Soul Blade, Julius? Play Soul Blade.
Oh yeah, I like Soul Blade.
Soul Blade was a good game.
Soul Blade was a hell of a good game.
Do you remember Taki?
Yeah, Taki. Yeah.
I was a boxing guy, so I was into all the fight nights.
Taki. I've never seen a Japanese lady that looks like that. Though.
I mean, you remember Valdo? He looked like Marilyn Manson, but without a face.
Yeah.
He used to wear all the leather. He had blades for hands. It was real gross, real nasty stuff. Straight out of Marilyn.
What happened to Marilyn Manson? Man. Whatever happened to it?
Sakib, it's that the music sucks, bro, and it's okay. We're all gonna be okay. We're all gonna be okay. But it's because the music.
I mean, look, this is how I discover music. Yeah, I'll be on the internet and I'm looking at some Sony Xperia like overview video on one of their phones. And I'm like, oh wow, the math rock in the background there sounds quite nice. So then I go look for who the artist was, find the artist on my YouTube Music, discover they're like a math rock, progressive rock band called Toei or Toe, I think. They're from Japan. They just download their album.
No, I mean,
be like, yeah, this is decent.
Sakib, we're the same, bro. I do that with scores because I need scores to brainstorm. I need scores to think. And I've been that way since I was a child. Like, if I like a score, I like a score. Steve Jablonski, John Williams, Hans Zimmer, whatever. I listen to scores. I listen to every goddamn thing, right? But I find myself listening more to scores as an adult than I did as a child because the average stuff on the radio sucks, bro. It sucks. It's that bad. Like, let's all say it. Troy,
there was this anime. There was this trailer for this anime film I was watching, and there was a cover of Frank Sinatra's "Fly Me to the Moon." Then I found out who the artist was. I was like, oh, it's New York-born Japanese singer Hikaru Utada, who now lives in London now. Like, and I ended up discovering her music that way. I know a lot of people discover their music through video games, but
I'm so glad you brought that song up. That was the only song that was played on the moon. You know, "Fly Me to the Moon" was played on the moon by the first astronauts.
Oh shit!
The only song in history.
Troy, that's if they went to the moon, bro. That's if they went.
Huh?
I don't went to Arizona.
That's true too. That's true.
We don't know.
Let's not jump down this rabbit hole, please.
Well, let's do this, Sakib, because you just don't want to.
No.
Julius, can I ask you a question first?
Okay.
If they didn't go, does it really matter?
No, because I do believe they left the planet.
So
I believe
a few years later, maybe they left.
Intention of going in the near future.
Let's do this shit, John. I'm not sure, right? This is how I feel in my foot. I'm not sure they went. I could believe they did. I could believe they didn't because they were in the middle of an arms race with the Russians, and that was a very high-profile pissing contest. They had every reason why. The cosmonaut.
Oh, yeah. And America's got a track record of lying. You remember Reagan's Star Wars space station that he claimed he was going to set up?
Exactly.
So they did lie, but the bottom line is it doesn't really matter. We've got no intention of going to the moon anytime soon, have we?
Because at minimum, what I'm certain of is that they did catch up to the Russians. They did manage to put satellites that orbit the planet, and that's what's important because that explains our modern day way of life. If somebody tells me, this is my stance, if somebody tells me they don't believe it, I could see why. If somebody tells me they do believe it, I could see why. I don't get passionate about the shit. It's just I don't dismiss it either. I don't dismiss maybe they lied. I mean, they had every reason to lie. They're in the middle of an arms race with the Russians. They got every reason to lie about the goddamn shit.
Yeah, yes, you gotta agree with me.
None of that is going to help Joe Joyce in an Anthony Joshua fight. None of that.
No, it's not.
Julius?
No.
I have a question.
The best thing that's going to help Joe Joyce in an Anthony Joshua fight is politics change.
No, well, all right, gentlemen, I'm going to call this a day for this live. I got some stuff I got to do. Next episode of The Relay is about to be uploaded. Always a pleasure. Whitney Houston is the premier vocalist in almost any era. I think we can all agree on that.
I don't care, bro.
You do care.
You need to care. You need to care, Sakib. You need to care.
He does. He's just being a hipster. He knows all Whitney Houston songs.
I legit don't, like.
Yes, you do.
But an artist is larger than life when I don't need to know who the artist is to recognize one of her songs. You got that going for you. I like The National. They're a good band.
Never heard of them. Where are they from?
They're from your country, my friend. An indie band.
Really?
Nigel Penn with a beat called Frotch. On that note, I'm leaving.
Nigel Penn.
I'm going.
With a beat in. Right now, on that note, I'm out of here.